Hey, Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to 144,000 and the rest of the elect. This is the brother Yakima from the GMS Houston camp, and this is just a quick lesson, touching on the MOTB again, because it's going to keep coming out, like different news, different angles. But while the MOTB, the RFID microchip and the implantable brain device, which you get from different companies like Neuralink, and there's others. I think Stentrode. There's a lot of different companies that are working on, BCIs, what are called brain computer interfaces. So brain computer interfaces. There are a lot of different companies that also work on RFID implantable devices, and this is just going on that. Brother posted in the chat, an article going into this, but this is for prisoners. And one of the first things, I thought about was the movie Demolition Man. They had in that movie, when they took prisoners, when they put them in prison, they didn't just put them in like a regular prison. They put them in cryo sleep. But then in the cryo sleep, what they did was pretty much put not just a implantable device in them, but they also rehabilitated them. Like they worked on their minds when they were in there by implanting. I don't remember exactly, but in this here, it says that they want to implant false memories to make you rehabilitated. So, just thinking about that's how the devil would move. It's just like giving you a lie so he can make you move how he wants you to move. Because this devil wants control over everything. So, hey, Salakia, just getting into it. Matter of fact, before I get into this, I'll just read a few precepts first. This is Revelation 13 and 16, which we should all know this. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, this mark is a physical mark. If you go to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, that's a spiritual mark. There's a difference. This here is physical. This is tied to buying and selling. And everybody is going to be coerced into taking this. And it's not like they're going to hold a gun up to your head and whatnot. No, you're just going to be cut off slowly from society. So where you're going to wake up and you can't buy anything, you can't sell, you can't go to the store, you can't enter the store, you can't buy gas, unless you have this mark. And this mark is, which for time's sake, if you click on this word mark, it's a charagma. It's going into a stamp, an etching, a badge of servitude, which this is going to be inside you. And so when you look further into the root words, it has karax going into the cutting instrument, the delivery agent, and then grapho, meaning the information that's written on or inside that micro C hip, meaning that how you scan a QR code. That QR code don't actually the code of it itself. It's a design like a specific way for each code. So when you scan it, it pulls up a specific thing. You can pull up your ID, your information, your medical information, or a website, whatever. But this here will have all the information. Instead of you scanning a QR code, you would scan that RFID seal, and it would have whatever is required at the time. But this is what you're going to need in this up and coming future. And this is a part of how they're going to use it, for buying and selling. But then as I'm going to go to the Google after this, it's going to show another application for it. So, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So that's going both into the hands. I remember there was a company, I'm not sure if they're still around. I'm not sure if they're still around. They're called Dangerous Things. And basically their whole thing was implantable devices, and then now you have, like I mentioned, Neuralink, Stentrode, And I know there's others, and then they also, like at different universities, they have people working on these things. This is like the you could say the cutting edge of the future, what have you. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you got to have this mark. You got to have this implantable device in you in order to make it in this NWO and the Great Reset, which is coming to take place soon. This is going to take the world by surprise, and a lot of people that haven't been paying attention or putting it off or saying that this isn't what it is, and you're going to go right into this head first. Because a lot of people, the first sign of trouble, the first sign of temptation, the first thing they do is want to hold their hand out, or get help from the government or what have you. They're going to fall right in line. The same way with the Ovid. So from here, I'm going to go to this, and I'm going to jump back. So rather than go to the article that was posted in the chat, I just put in, the keywords that I saw from the basics from the article. So I put in biometric implants for prisoners. And it says biometric implants for prisoners are emerging technologies, the cutting edge. Matter of fact, I like doing this, just highlighting and searching. Highlight, copy, and paste. Emerging technologies are radical, rapidly growing innovations. So if you keep in mind that this devil knoweth that he had a matter of fact, I'm going to get it. Let's get that. Let's get it. Let me see it. Because when somebody has a short amount of time to do something, when something is coming out rapid, that means there's all kinds of flaws. They're rushing. When somebody's doing something rapidly, they're rushing. And when somebody's rushing, they're either under a lot of pressure, time constraint, what have you. And these things are coming out fast. And the way technology is moving, I'll talk to my pops, and he'll tell me, like, look, technology has increased exponentially, like since when he was a kid, growing, like being a kid, being born in the 40s, like it's increased so much that he can't, like, he's having a hard time being like, I used to read about like stuff like this in science fiction, like, and now I'm living it, kind of thing. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I'm an old man in like science fiction times, but for the rest of us in the know, we're how much I'm thinking of Daniel 12, how knowledge has increased so much where we're living in end times when just 100 years ago, the technology, all this stuff that was just something in a book, unheard of, couldn't even really comprehend it. But look at this. Hold on. Right, 12 and 12. Okay. Revelation 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So us as Israelites, even the angels in heaven, but all of it, we should be rejoicing. Because it sounds crazy, but woe to the inhabitants of the earth, destruction to you. Good for you. You're gonna get what you got coming, and it's gonna be so beautiful. The destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great. That it's gonna I'll say it, overshadow the deliverance from Egypt. This is gonna be talked about for generations. But rejoice ye heavens, because the devil is coming down with great wrath, because he knoweth that he have a short time. So that devil, he's letting out all the stops. He's rushing, he's nervous, he's moving, and that devil being Esau Edom, the so-called white man, who is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. this is him on the knowing that how do you say it? He has very little time, and he's trying to get this done. He's trying to meet a deadline that really he ain't gonna meet. He's not gonna be able to fully enjoy, what he's trying to set up at all. But us rejoice because this devil, he has a short time. He's the one fucking up. He's the one that the pressure's on. Us, we just gotta wait for a little moment. We just gotta wait for Yahweh shot with Salakia. It's a very short amount of time, and I remember I got that because of emerging technologies. So emerging technologies are radical, rapidly growing innovations like AI, biotechnology, and quantum computing that are expected to create significant social and economic disruption. So this, what's happening is disrupting the world. But then we expect it to go further. We expect it to go further and further to where I would say no man can buy or sell except he had the mark. These breakthroughs are currently maturing, shifting the status quo and fundamentally reshaping how we live and work. So this ain't like before. Now how you living and working. Now you gotta put your ID, you gotta put your biometrics, you gotta give your fingerprint, you gotta do the iris scan on some places. You gotta do everything through your phone. You don't get paid cash anymore or get handed a check. Now you get paid through shit. I don't even go to the bank. My money goes straight to my bank account, and my bank account is just on my phone. I don't go to a physical bank. If the bank goes under, who the fuck do I go to? That's the way this shit is going. That's the way this shit is now. You don't have to go to the bank. I got to talk to his teller. Man, it's just anyway. It says biotechnology, engineered living therapeutics, precise gene editing, and precision fermentation. Okay, that's not. Anyway, that was enough on that. Going back to this, so biometric implants for prisoners are emerging technologies at the intersection of criminal justice and neuroscience. So this is where these two things are intersecting, but what the intersecting point is that implant. Proposals include implanting subdermal RFID GPS tracker chips to monitor ex-offenders and theoretical use of AI neural implants to rehabilitate violent offenders through artificial memories. So they're going to give people fake memories. Like, look, you actually had a good childhood. Look, your parents loved you. Look, good job, son. Hey, good job, son. Don't forget to, you're going to be have memories like the fucking Truman Show. You're going to be thinking back on memory and have a fucking commercial. This shit is fucking terrible. This is absolutely demonic shit. But it says proposals include implanting subdermal RFID GPS tracker chips to monitor ex-offenders. Let me see what pops up with this. Subdermal RFID and GPS tracking chips for monitoring ex-offenders or inmates involve emerging again, highly controversial technology aimed at enhancing surveillance, reducing recidivism. What is recidivism? Is that word like repeat offenders? I'm just guessing. Recidivism is the relapse into criminal behavior. So they want to, if you've never seen this movie, A Clockwork Orange, I know a lot of Edomites like that movie, but what that is like pretty, I want to say that's fucking, they showing you MK Ultra. That's what they're showing you. They got your eyes pried open, showing you a bunch of images, and it's to rehabilitate your mind. After he got rehabilitated, what was his name? I don't remember the guy's name. That was one of those Stanley Kubrick movies. Shit, I would watch his whole catalog. Get you anyway. But the guy, he ended up getting rehabilitated, and they fucked him up so bad that he couldn't even fucking, get with a fucking woman. He was fucking like his shit was like fucked up. Like they messed him up. But anyway, that's enough of that, because when you go to prison, you should be rehabilitated. That's what the point should be in prison. But really, when you go to prison here, especially in Babylon the Great, all it does is make you more of a criminal, a better criminal. You learn a new, what do you call it? A new scheme, whatever it may be. So, where was I? Highly controversial technology aimed at enhancing surveillance, reducing recidivism, and managing parolee compliance. While primarily discussed as a futuristic prison outside prison, concepts to ease overcrowding, proposals suggest that using these devices for real-time tracking of high-risk individuals such as sex offenders and convicted murderers. So they they ain't going to use that on the small hats. They're going to use that on you, Jake. The small hats still going to take it, but hey, them small hats, when they get in trouble, whatever, they just fly back to fucking small hat land. It says subdermal RFID GPS implants proposals, including discussions in the UK, involve tech firms like Google, Amazon, and Palantir. And these are the what do you call it? Technocrats of today. It says suggest embedding GPS chips under the skin to monitor movements. This is what they want to do. Free, bond, everybody, rich, poor, everybody gonna get this. We're gonna find it's for everybody. It says in prison, experts existing technology limitations. Experts note that true real-time GPS tracking requires a power source, a battery, and antenna too large for a small subcutaneous implant. Current small subdermal RFID chips typically require close-range scanners. So let's look at this. I'm going to try this. I know I haven't really got used to this AI yet, so I don't really ask it no questions like that like I would with ChatGPT. But let's see what this does. No, actually, what did I just do? Salaki. Getting this. Hit search. Scroll. Let me just see what this says. This might not give me anything. Okay, this is what we got. So, real-time GPS tracking requires significant power and relatively large antennas, which currently makes them too large for small, long-term subcutaneous implants, while GPS trackers require substantial power similar to a small smartphone. So this is going to require a power source, and for you to have the chip in you, you're going to have you're pretty much going to have a phone implanted in you. But they're looking to work around that. How do we work around this? So you don't have to have an antenna implanted in you. What's the solution? It says while GPS trackers require substantial power to connect with satellites and transmit data, emerging technologies such as 6G, wireless power transfer, and nanotechnologies aim to overcome these limitations, enabling future near zero energy subcutaneous tracking. So I'm just this is just a C theory, I'm bringing it out. If Google said they wanted to do it, I'm bringing it out via Google. The constraints of subcutaneous. Okay, the antenna size, the power source, GPS tracking, the RFID versus GPS. PET microchips are often confused with GPS. GPS are actually RFID, which do not require a battery but cannot track location in real time. They can only be respond when scanned at a very close range. So pretty much what that means is the pets ain't tracked like real time 24/7. It's whenever they come across like a scanner, that's when it gets pinged or whatever. Oh, it came across this, that's where it is. That's the last. That was like 2-3 hours ago. Whatever, it pinged over here. Something like that. If that makes sense. The 6G solution and future possibilities. 6G technology is expected to usher in a new era of healthcare through the internet of bio-nano things. Remember the elder apostle Zahar mentions that the internet of things and the internet of bodies. But now it's just like, man, it's like a new word every week. Like, man, when the fuck did they come up with all the time for this? So it says internet of bio-nano things, offering solutions to current size and power constraints. Simultaneous wireless information and power transfer. 6G networks are expected to use SWIFT. Okay, that's what the acronym is. Enabling energy to be sent directly to deep tissue implants or nanobots through radio frequency or terahertz frequency pulses. So this now it is going to make more sense what it's talking about in Revelation 16. How it says they had grievous sores, because them frequencies and them how it says those frequencies and the frequencies, those things are gonna mess with you. Shoot, they even had the 5G towers that says do not stand within 3 feet of it. What them things gonna do? Them things fuck with you. They mess with your on a cellular level. They disrupt your body. Zero energy devices. 6G aims to facilitate zero energy medical implants that can function without traditional batteries, relying on harvested energy from the network itself. See, researchers, recent subdermal implants. Recent developments include soft implants with wireless charging capabilities, designed to be less invasive, though still larger than a simple. So anyway, let's do this. Because these data centers are popping up everywhere, like everywhere they're popping up. Now you want what you want to know that for? Anyway, it says 6G technology expected to roll out commercially around 2030. This is why you see these things moving so quick. And 2030 isn't the start date. 2030 is the deadline for this. It's set to revolutionize data centers by demanding unprecedented speed, low latency, and artificial intelligence integration. Rather than replacing fiber, 6G will act as a high-speed wireless bridge that pushes massive volumes of data into distributed edge data centers. Anyway, that's really all I'm going to get from that, because that's what those data centers are for. They're meant to hold the massive data that's going to be streaming, and they're going to use 6G because it's going to be so fast, but they have to have this shit set up everywhere. That's why you're seeing the data centers set up everywhere, and you're going to start seeing the 6G everywhere. Let's see. Let me see what else it says. As of late 2025, President Donald Trump has initiated a winning the 6G race policy aimed at securing U.S. dominance in next generation wireless technology. So if they're trying to win in the 6G race and whatnot, how do you think? Like, that sounds like what I just read in Revelation. They got a short period of time. They got a short period of time to do all this. They're trying to get it done. They're trying to win this race. They're trying to aimed at securing U.S. dominance in the next generation wireless technology. His administration is focused on spectrum. Anyway, that's enough of that. They're trying to win this race. They're in 6G. That's the point. So, it's lucky a long way around. So, The subcutaneous tracking and identification. It says the concept implanting transdermal microchips under the skin of inmates or prisoners levers to establish real-time behavioral monitoring and location tracking. So how are they going to do that if it can't track real time? They need the technology, which they want to get done by 2050. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
So this is also, they got a short period of time. They're trying to get this done. So real-world discussion in the UK, senior Ministry of Justice officials and major tech executives discussed these proposals during a roundtable with prisons ministers Lord Timpson, or it's British, so I might be saying that wrong, even though it's spelled like that. No mandate has been established, but government sources have not ruled out exploring these technologies for managing prison levers. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce that. Levers, it's spelled anyway. So, neural rehabilitation, the concept, a theoretical, futuristic model of rehabilitation that involves feeding AI-generated artificial memories directly into a prisoner's brain. That sounds good. I don't know how it don't sound good at all. Like, I don't know how you fucking put some sprinkles on that, like some candy, confetti, whatever. I don't know how you make that look good, but I know people are gonna get with it. Art of fake memories, AI memories. You gonna remember? Think back. Oh, I remember my first love, and that bitch got fucking 6 fingers. And you ain't gonna be able to tell because they're putting a fake memory in you. You know, AI is gonna get so good, like it's a memory. So it's like the memories, like you don't really, when you think back on stuff, you ain't really looking at the details and the background and all that kind of stuff. They just, man, this is fucking evil times. The mechanism intended as an alternative to traditional prison sentences, high-resolution brain scans are mapped to help offenders experience the consequences of their crimes from the victim's perspective, theoretically inducing empathy, regret, and remorse. It kind of reminds me of a Minority Report. Anyway, hey, that's all I'm going to get from that because I'm going to go back to the scriptures. And we're going to close out. Matter of fact, before I get that, this is Isaiah 26 and verse 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked. And he has the world right now. The earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. And favor has been showed to him. Look at the cities that he's built, the technology that he's had, all this stuff. And you've even been given the people of the Lord into your hands. You know, let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. This is not how you rule the earth. This is not how you rehabilitate criminals. This is not how you deal with criminals. You know, you don't put a murderer in prison. No, you're supposed to be put to death. But all the things that should be put to death are allowed to thrive. You know, adultery, Moism. You know, all these different wicked things that are allowed to go on. But this devil wants to put on a guise like he can control everything, that he can rehabilitate you. Meanwhile, he's the devil. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness in the land of uprightness, where in Israel. Right now, there's a pride going on. And I believe it's either today is the 4th or the 5th. You know, they had a big festival over at the Dead Sea, where Sodom and Gomorrah once was. So in the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. So he's just doing all manner of wickedness, and he's not going to do right, no matter what. And the Lord is going to come to destroy him. So back to 2 Thessalonians, and we'll close out. So this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, which is what the returning of Yahushua. When you read up, so you had some people that were saying that it already happened, or you know, They were saying different things that threw off the faith of many of the believers, But you have to be firmly rooted in this. Let no man deceive you by any means. Oh, that's not the mark. The mark is white women. The mark is Christianity. The mark is Caesar Borgia. The mark is sin. No. It's been, the mark is the RFID microchip, or the BCI that's going to be implanted in your brain. This is what it is. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, the returning of Yahushua, except there come a falling away first. The siege of Jerusalem, 70 AD. We completely lost our heritage. Israel was completely scattered. You lost your heritage. You lost your identity. No name of the Lord. No Yahweh or Yahushua. All that is gone, taken away. You lost your identity. Now you're called as whatever land that you live in. You're black, you're Negro, you're Hispanic, you're Native American, you're Irish, you're Jamaican, you're West Indian, whatever it may be. You have been scattered into these different lands. And now this word is going out to gather you before the day of Yahushua. Except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. That man of sin being Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He is being revealed, who he truly is, that fucking demon that he truly is. The son of perdition. That's I believe that's destruction. That's G684 Apolea. This is destroying, utter destruction. So that's him, Esau. His name literally means wasted away is he. This is him. He's the one that's doing all this killing. This is the wicked man, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High. So he puts himself, like the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges. What has he done? He puts himself up like he painted himself as God, as Jesus, as the angels. He put himself up as that. He made himself like he's a holy, righteous man. Meanwhile, this is the devil. He has done no righteousness. You think just because somebody visited you in prison and read you John 3:16, that made him a righteous man? Or because you were down and out and somebody gave you a fucking pork sandwich, that made them righteous? Oh, he really helped. No. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. In the temple, the Lord dwelleth not in temples made of hands. The Lord is dwelling in you. In you. You are the temple. You are the spiritual building. You Israelites. Not you heathen. The Lord ain't even messing with you. The Lord ain't even dealing with you. The only reason the Lord I would say the Lord is dealing with you Edomites, you other nations, is to be a whipping stick unto Israel. So he's putting himself up. He's going to rehabilitate you. He's going to change your mind. He's going to stop you from being a murderer. He's going to put fake memories in you to help you. And I'm going to jump down. Verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. I'm sorry, let me read verse 8 again. I'm getting excited. Right over it. It says, 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, that wicked man Esau Edom, the wicked, who the Lord hated. Esau have I hated. Malachi 1 and 4. The border of wickedness. This is the wicked that's talking about in the scriptures. Who else is doing that? Who else? Hey, you can say, oh, it's Moab. No, Moab is just, they want to be in charge, but really they falling behind Esau. Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, the mouth of the prophets. We're the ones that are, the Lord revealed it to us through the Holy Spirit, starting with Rabbi Abba Bivens and the apostles on down, the apostles of Great Millstone, the men on down. This has been revealed through the Spirit, and we're speaking these things. The prophets are revealing you through the Holy Spirit who you are. And that spirit of prophecy is the spirit of Yahushua. So it's really like Yahushua is speaking through us and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So Yahushua is speaking through us now. And when Yahushua returns, he's going to destroy you. He's going to destroy this wicked kingdom. He's going to topple it. He's going to turn it to dust. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. This is a lying wonder. I can rehabilitate you. How? I'm going to put fake memories in your mind. It's going to be AI. It's going to be shit that ain't real. But you're going to be better. How is anybody made better by a fucking lie? Excuse me. I'm turned up right now. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. So the only ones that are going to be deceived are those that are going to die. You 2/3 here in Babylon the Great, y'all are going to follow along right with this. Y'all are going to be with it. With all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And the Lord blocked your ears. He made it so where you couldn't hear, you couldn't see, and the Lord don't want you. So, if you receive this truth, you receive this word, it would be best to do what's pleasing unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and to move with fear. Otherwise, you're just wasting that gift that was given to you. And this is your ticket out. Believing on Yahushua, moving with fear. That's your ticket out of here. Ain't nothing you can do. This is the only way you're going to be saved. And shoot, even if you believe in Yahushua, that still don't mean you're going to be saved. You have to be chosen from the very beginning. And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. So the Most High, he got your mind sealed. You're not going to believe the truth. Matter of fact, I think I had that. I'm going to finish this out, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So y'all ain't believe the truth, but I had here false memory versus a strong delusion. So here I had false memories and strong delusions are both distorted representations of reality. So if you got a strong delusion, that's the Most High. He put that in your mind that you can't hear and you can't see what reality is. But a false memory, that's something that can be, you might remember something wrong. Like, damn, I thought I put my keys over here. Just for, a small example. I thought I did something. I put my keys over here. I put them over there. Or they've been in my hand the whole time. That's that kind of thing. That's a false memory. Or like, I ain't got to keep going. But they differ significantly in their origins, content, and mental state they produce. A false memory involves misremembering the past or fabricating events that never happened, while a delusion is a firmly held, fixed, false belief that does not change even with contradictory evidence. So the strong delusion, even though the apostles and the men on down are presenting the evidence of what this is, what the MOTB is, how it's going to be used, just all this evidence going into it, the type of technology, how it works, everything. The people that are under a strong delusion, even though they see it, they're not going to believe it because they're fixed. It's not going to move. The Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, has sealed you off to where you're not going to receive it. And the only thing for you is death. But anyway, if you get that chip in you and they implant false memories in you, it don't matter. Because you took the chip, you're going to be destroyed. That's it. But Lord willing, this has been edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Hakodash, Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of your land. Hey, shalom.